Chosen one. They tried to bury you. They tried to silence you. They thought, if they ignored you long enough, if they mocked you hard enough, if they whispered lies deep enough, somehow the world would never know who you really are. But here's the twist they played themselves. In trying to hide your greatness, they ended up putting a spotlight on it. In trying to cover your name, they accidentally wrote it in the sky. Chosen one. The secret is out. You've been that one all along. For years, the weight of destiny pressed on you in silence. You walked through seasons where people treated you like you were ordinary, when in reality, you were extraordinary waiting to be revealed. They underestimated you because heaven had you hidden. They mistook your battles for weakness, not realizing those battles were building an unstoppable force inside you. And now, everything they tried to hush is echoing across the room. Everything they tried to contain has spilled out like oil that can't be gathered back. The more they tried to dim your light, the brighter it burned. The more they plotted, the more they exposed themselves. This is the season of divine unveiling. No mask, no gossip, no manipulation can cover what heaven has stamped with eternal approval. Chosen one. Your identity has broken through the walls of secrecy. You are no longer the mystery. They can't deny you, can't hide you, can't stop you. The revelation is public, and the world has no choice but to watch. Let's dive deeper with some details. Number 1. The whisper became a shout. There was a time when your name was only mentioned in passing, tucked away in hushed tones and shadowy corners. They whispered about you, hoping their quiet words would keep you contained, as though destiny could be locked away behind closed doors. But what they forgot is that heaven has its own megaphone. And when heaven decides it's time for unveiling, even the faintest whisper is amplified into a thunderous shout the world cannot ignore. They whispered that you weren't good enough. They whispered that you'd never rise. They whispered that your anointing was just imagination, that your light was just coincidence. But every time they whispered against you, they unknowingly joined the chorus of heaven, which was preparing to shout your truth so loudly that no ear could pretend not to hear. The very voices that thought they were silencing you became the background track to your grand announcement. Whispers are for secrets, but destiny doesn't live in secrecy, it breaks out. What they tried to keep underground has now erupted like a volcano, spilling into the open. The things they tried to mute have now become headlines. Your name has left the shadows and entered conversations you never even stepped into. Your influence is no longer a rumor, it's a reality. The whisper became a shout because heaven doesn't whisper about his chosen ones, he proclaims them. And when heaven shouts, no power on earth can turn down the volume. What was once hidden has become undeniable, unstoppable, unshakable. Chosen one. You are no longer the subject of small talk. You are the living testimony that the stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. The whisper is over. The announcement has been made. Your season of divine recognition has begun, and the sound of it will echo for generations. Number 2. The mask slipped. They thought they were clever. With careful hands and calculated moves, they tried to drape a mask over you, to conceal the brilliance that radiated from your soul. They feared your glow, but they couldn't deny it, so they attempted to distort it. They whispered false labels, painted false stories, and built walls of deception around your name. They thought if they hid you long enough, the world would forget. But in their clumsy attempt to cover what heaven designed, their very hands betrayed them. The mask slipped, and when it slipped, it didn't just reveal a fragment of who you are, it revealed the fullness of your light. What they tried to disguise became undeniable. What they tried to keep in shadow came forth like the breaking of dawn. And the irony, it was their own actions, their own schemes, their own fear that ripped the veil open wide enough for everyone to see the real you. The mask slipping wasn't an accident, it was divine strategy. Because sometimes God allows the enemy to pull so hard on the disguise that they end up tearing it, exposing the glory they tried to suppress. And when your light was revealed, it didn't come gently, it came blinding, leaving those who doubted you stunned and speechless. Now they are faced with the truth they can no longer deny. You were never ordinary. You were never what they painted you to be. You've been chosen all along, marked by heaven, radiant with a light that cannot be dimmed. Their attempt to cover you became the very stage of your unveiling. Chosen one, the mask has fallen. Your face is uncovered. Your essence is undeniable. And now the world must confront the brilliance they once tried to bury. Number 3, the plot backfired. They gathered in secret, whispering your name with venom, crafting schemes they believed would erase your destiny. They dug traps, set snares, and designed obstacles with one goal in mind: to see you fall. But what they didn't realize is that every plot against a chosen one is already doomed to collapse. Why? Because heaven rewrites blueprints. Every plan crafted in darkness becomes raw material for divine light. The very ground they dug to swallow you became the platform that lifted you higher. The pit they prepared for your burial transformed into a throne room for your coronation. What was designed as your end became your beginning. Their conspiracy, carefully woven with envy and fear, unraveled in their own hands, and the threads of it were rewoven into a crown for you. This is the mystery of being chosen. No attack, no sabotage, no betrayal can outwit divine purpose. Every scheme only sharpens you. Every disappointment only propels you. The same people who thought they were breaking you unknowingly built the stage where your unveiling would take place. Their whispers became your introduction. Their rejection became your redirection. Their plots became the proof that you were dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. The plot backfired because heaven always flips the script. What they meant for evil, God restructured for good. And the beauty of it, you didn't even have to fight for the turnaround destiny fought for you. Now, the very eyes that planned your downfall are forced to witness your rise. The same lips that mocked you must now announce your victory. Chosen one, their conspiracy has become your coronation. What was meant to bury you has only proven that you cannot be buried. You were planted, and now you bloom in undeniable glory. Number 4, your silence spoke louder. They mistook your silence for surrender. They thought your quietness meant you had nothing left, that the storms had drained your strength, that the delays had crushed your spirit. They assumed that because you weren't shouting, fighting, or explaining yourself, you had already lost. But what they failed to realize is that silence has a voice, and yours was roaring louder than any argument, louder than any defense, louder than any noise they tried to make against you. Your silence was not weakness, it was strategy. Stillness is often the stage where heaven does its greatest work. While they were busy throwing words like stones, you were busy becoming. While they wasted energy trying to prove a point, you were quietly being sharpened, refined, and elevated by unseen hands. Your silence wasn't emptiness, it was prophecy. It was heaven's way of saying, wait, watch, something is coming. Like a seed underground, hidden and unseen, you looked silent, but life was happening in secret. Roots were digging deeper. Strength was being built. Destiny was aligning. And when the season shifted, your silence broke open into a manifestation that spoke louder than any rumor, any lie, any accusation ever could. The beauty of your quiet seasons is that they created contrast. When you finally rose, there was no denying it. You didn't need to defend yourself. Your results became your response. Your glow became your answer. Your rise became your roar. Chosen one, your silence was never defeat, it was declaration. It declared that you trusted God more than human approval. It declared that your destiny was too heavy to be argued about. And now, the silence that once confused them has become the loudest announcement of your victory. Number 5. They accidentally testified. It's a strange irony, isn't it? The very people who tried to erase you became the ones who ended up confirming you. In their desperate attempt to explain you away, to make others doubt your calling, to paint you as less than what you are, they slipped. Their words became evidence. Their accusations became confessions. Their resistance became testimony. They accidentally testified. Every time they whispered, "Who does she think she is?" or "Why does he always survive what should have destroyed him?" they were testifying that you are set apart. Every time they said, Something about them isn't normal. They unknowingly declared that you carry the mark of heaven. The very questions they asked were confirmations of the truth they were trying so hard to bury. This is how God works with the chosen. He doesn't always need your defense. Sometimes he lets your enemies speak, not realizing that their words are building the case for your elevation. They tried to strip you of credibility, but in their attempts, they drew more attention to the very qualities they wanted hidden. They pointed people to your uniqueness, even while trying to deny it. The fact that they felt the need to explain you away is proof enough you've always been more than they could handle. They feared your rise, and in their fear, they exposed their awareness of your greatness. What they intended as mockery became prophecy. What they thought was slander became confirmation. Chosen one, you don't need a witness stand. Your enemies already testified. Their words have become the receipts of your anointing, their resistance, the evidence of your assignment. And now, heaven smiles, because the truth they tried to silence has been shouted from their own mouths. Number 6. Hidden proof surfaced. For a long time your greatness looked invisible. Your anointing seemed tucked away, sealed in seasons of obscurity where no one was paying attention. People doubted you because they couldn't see tangible evidence. They mocked you, thinking silence meant absence and delay meant denial. But what they didn't know was that heaven was preserving your proof for an appointed time, and now that time has come. Hidden proof has surfaced. It didn't come quietly. Either it spilled into plain sight, undeniable and unshakable. The gifts you carried in secret, the strength you developed in silence, the wisdom you gathered in the dark, all of it has broken through the surface like a river that can no longer be dammed. What was hidden is now revealed, and no opinion, no slander, no denial can bury it again. Proof is powerful because it doesn't argue, it just exists. You don't have to convince anyone of what God placed on your life. The evidence speaks louder than explanations. The fruit speaks louder than words. And the authority you now walk in is not borrowed or fabricated, it is stamped by heaven. This is why people can't ignore you anymore. They may not like you, but they cannot deny you. They may resist you, but they cannot erase the evidence. The authority you carry now confronts every lie that was ever spoken against you. The anointing you walk in cancels out every rumor. Chosen one, the hidden proof has surfaced, and it is shining too brightly to be dismissed. What was once whispered about in uncertainty is now witnessed in clarity. You are the evidence. You are the living testimony. And no matter how hard they try, no one can unsee what God has revealed through you. Number 7. Jealousy exposed their secrets. Jealousy is a silent poison. It doesn't just eat away at the heart, it eventually spills out into the open. For a long time they dressed their envy in polite words, fake smiles, and subtle shade. They pretended their distance was indifference, and their criticism was concern. But envy cannot hide forever. In their attempt to tarnish your name, they ended up revealing the truth about themselves. Jealousy exposed their secrets. They wanted to dim your glow, but in trying so hard to point out flaws in you, they unveiled the chains wrapped tightly around their own hearts. They didn't realize that their obsession with discrediting you was proof of how much they actually saw in you. Every jab, every rumor, every backhanded comment carried one silent confession. I see something in them I wish I had. The irony is that they thought they were exposing you, but their every move unmasked them. Their bitterness testified of your fruitfulness. Their insecurity shouted about your stability. Their envy confirmed your elevation. And while they wasted energy trying to smear your name, you kept rising higher, leaving them to wrestle with the reflection of their own hidden wounds. Jealousy is a mirror, and when it cracked in their hands, everyone else saw the truth. They weren't attacking you because you failed. They were attacking because you succeeded. They weren't angry at your flaws. They were tormented by your favor. Chosen one, their jealousy has become your vindication. They thought they were staining your reputation, but all they did was expose their own. And now the world sees clearly. You are not the problem, you are the proof. Their secrets are out, and your light remains untouched. Number 8. The tables flipped in public. They wanted your fall to be a spectacle. They plotted for your shame to be visible, for your embarrassment to echo in public spaces where eyes could watch and mouths could gossip. They wanted you broken, humiliated, and silenced before an audience. But what they forgot is that heaven does not script endings the way man does. The very stage they built for your downfall was transformed into the platform of your honor. The tables flipped, and they flipped in public. God could have vindicated you in private. He could have restored you silently, away from the eyes of those who doubted you, but that would not have carried the same weight. Instead, he let your enemies gather, he let the crowd assemble, and then he shifted the narrative so dramatically that even those who once mocked you were forced to applaud. Heaven doesn't do quiet victories. Heaven makes statements. The shame they prepared became your spotlight. The accusations they hurled became the backdrop for your testimony. The lies they spread turned into the contrast that made your truth shine even brighter. And when the moment came, the reversal was undeniable. The same mouths that cursed you had to witness your crowning. The same eyes that rolled in disdain were forced to see your rise. This is how divine justice works. It doesn't just restore, it reverses. It flips the script so boldly that no one can mistake who holds the pen. Chosen one, your honor wasn't just given back, it was multiplied. And the best part? It happened before the very audience that thought they would witness your ruin. The tables didn't just turn, they turned in the open, where everyone could see. And now, your story is a living reminder. When God writes your ending, shame transforms into glory, and the stage built for your fall becomes the very ground of your celebration. Number 9. Your elevation is irreversible. There are moments in life when favor looks fragile, when blessings feel temporary, when you wonder if one wrong move could undo it all. But when heaven elevates you, it is not a fragile promotion, it is an irreversible decree. Once God stamps you with destiny's seal, no human hand can erase it, no plot can overturn it, and no power can revoke it. Your elevation is irreversible. They may not like it, they may resist it, they may talk against it, but their words have no authority over what has already been written in eternity. What heaven has revealed cannot be concealed again. What God has opened cannot be shut. You are not walking in a position that can be voted away or snatched back. You are walking in a calling anchored in divine permanence. Your rise is not based on human approval, so it cannot be undone by human disapproval. They could take opportunities, but they cannot take your oil. They could block doors, but they cannot block your light. And even when they attempt to strip you of honor, they only end up confirming it, because the more they fight, the more obvious it becomes that your position is not man-made but heaven-ordained. This is why you can walk boldly without fear. You are not standing on shaky ground, you are rooted in eternal purpose. You have been sealed, chosen, and set apart. The crown on your head is not a courtesy of man, but the gift of God, and that crown cannot be removed. Chosen one, understand this. Your elevation is not a season, it is a shift. It is not a moment, it is a mandate. The seal of destiny is unbreakable, and the glory resting on you is untouchable. What has been revealed cannot be hidden again. You are established, and you will remain. Number 10. Now they have to watch. There was a time when they laughed at you, when your dreams sounded too big, too unrealistic, too impossible. They mocked your vision, rolled their eyes at your faith, and dismissed your persistence as foolishness. Some denied your calling outright. Others whispered that you would never make it, never rise, never become what heaven already declared you to be. But here is the divine twist. God didn't just vindicate you in private. He prepared your table in the presence of your doubters, and now they have no choice but to watch. They cannot stop it. They cannot silence it. They cannot look away. The same ones who rejected you are now unwilling members of your audience, witnesses to the very glory they said would never manifest. They must sit and watch the prophecy unfold, not because they want to, but because destiny demands it. This is not revenge, it is revelation. God didn't elevate you so they could be punished. He elevated you so His power could be displayed beyond denial. Your rise is not hidden, it is a public unveiling. Every step you take forward echoes loudly in the ears of those who once doubted you. Every door that opens before you testifies that their opinions were powerless against divine design. Your manifestation is not just personal, it is prophetic. It declares that what God has spoken cannot be undone, and no crowd of skeptics can silence heaven's decree. Chosen one, understand this. The same mouths that mocked you will speak your name with honor. The same eyes that dismissed you will watch your elevation unfold. And the same hearts that denied you will be confronted with the truth they underestimated the hand of God on your life. They laughed at first. They denied at first. But now they have to watch. Conclusion. They thought they had you figured out. They thought if they whispered long enough, hid you deep enough, and mocked you loud enough, the world would never know. But chosen one, destiny has no mute button. The secret is out, and it was never theirs to control in the first place. Every plot, every mask, every jealous scheme, every attempt to bury you became the stage for your unveiling. What was supposed to break you has only built you. What was meant to silence you has only amplified you. Now the truth is undeniable. You've been that one all along. And here's the beauty of it. Your rise isn't just about you. Your story is proof that no opposition can cancel what heaven has ordained. You are living evidence that divine timing cannot be rushed, delayed, or denied. You are the echo of prophecy fulfilled, the answer to whispered prayers, the light that could not be hidden. So stand tall, chosen one. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Don't apologize for being who God designed you to be. The veil is gone, the mask has slipped, the tables have turned, and the crown has settled where it always belonged on your head. They screwed up when they tried to hide you, because in doing so, they drew even more attention to the greatness inside you. And now, the world knows. The stage is set. Your manifestation is here. The secret is out, and nothing will ever be the same again.